NASA astronauts won't say which one of them got sick after almost 8 months in space. This is a picture of the space crew of the Dragon, the NASA astronauts. 3 NASA astronauts whose prolonged space station mission ended with a trip to the hospital last month declined to say Friday which one of them was sick. Astronauts Matthew Dominic, Michael Barrett, and Janet Epps publicly discussed their spaceflight for the first time since returning from the International Space Station on October 25th. They spent nearly 8 months in orbit, longer than expected because of all the trouble with Boeing's Starliner crew capsule and rough weather, including Hurricane Milton. Soon after their SpaceX capsule splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico off the Florida coast, the 3 were taken to a hospital in nearby Pensacola along with Russian cosmonaut Alexander Grebenkin, who launched with them back in March. One of the Americans ended up spending the night there for an undisclosed medical issue, quote unquote. NASA declined to say who was hospitalized or why, citing medical privacy. When asked at Friday's news conference which one had been sick, the astronauts refused to comment. Barrett, a doctor who specializes in space medicine, declined to even describe the symptoms that the unidentified astronaut had. Spaceflight is still something we don't fully understand, he said. We're finding things that we don't expect sometimes. This was one of those times, and we're still piecing things together on this, said Barrett, the only member of the crew who had flown in space before. Epps said everyone is different in how they respond to space and gravity. That's the part that you can't predict, she said, adding every day is better than the day before. Dominic said little things like sitting comfortably in a hard chair took several days to get used to. Once he returned, he said he did not use the treadmill at all during the time in space as part of an experiment to see what equipment might be paired on a long trip to Mars. The first time he walked was when he got out of the capsule. The 2 astronauts who served as test pilots for Boeing's Starliner, Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, will remain at the space station until February, flying back with SpaceX. Starliner returned empty in September. And this is from Associated Press on phys.org by Marcia Dunn. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.